Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 3 Week 6 Day 2. So today, of course, we got the Larasas Lair as far as the faction, probably one of the more annoying ones, but if you want to get Larasas Lair done, it is available today. The main thing that makes it really annoying is every single one of the troops is luck based as far as what they end up doing. And yeah, you just hope to get lucky because every single one of them determines between multiple different things as far as what it's actually going to end up doing, which is pretty annoying. Though luckily we won't be doing that today. We're just going to be doing it for the basic rewards, which of course you can run anything for. But yeah, if you want to get pure faction done today, it is available nonetheless. Oh, they have the Australia Day thing as well. Trying to sell that. But anyways, as far as oh, we're getting the pet for that tomorrow, by the way, too. In 6 hours from now. That's pretty much right around the corner. But anyways, let's start off with the World Lore event. We didn't really get to play it too much yesterday. Obviously, we did some because we had to for, well, not had to, but, you know, it overlapped a little bit with the objectives we had. But we'll start off there, and then we'll probably end up dealing with the faction and go from there. Let's see. He wants yellow, so let's go and destroy everything and be good to go. Hello, Bill. Hello, Gustavo. Welcome, welcome. And of course, it's basically just rarity order this time around, so pretty straightforward as far as the rooms we need to take, which is nice. And unlike last week, and some recent weeks, just in general, World Lore event's pretty easy this week. Not the easiest we've ever had, but it's definitely nowhere near the worst. No, it's pretty good. At least compared to what we have been getting for some of them lately. Hello, Raykin, welcome. Hello, Marabarashi, welcome as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do we have yellow or green? Yes, do that. Win. Still at one-shot range, oddly enough. We should stop one-shotting soonish, but we do have 2 extra spell increase thingies. So that's what, 320%? So that means we're actually hitting for like 300 something? That's pretty high. Okay, we're hitting over a little over 300 then. Oh no, it's No, that's still correct. Because we're getting something like, if we're getting 320%, that's basically 420%. So that's, I don't know, that's a little bit lower. It's like 200, it's like 220. Somewhere around there. Still pretty high. I was gonna say, if it was 300 something, that seemed a bit too high. I know, it's like 200 something. I said, hello, Frank. Hello, Captain. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope all of you have been having a good week so far. Valor. I think we've been doing the Valor ones more, so let's take the Valor. You do get slightly more points when you do the battle more. So we could basically just do it on rarity order, but also make sure we take highest level. Because that generally means you played it more. And you do get slightly more points that way. Even though it is just rarity order. But generally it's going to force you to basically have to take them anyways. Because you eventually run out of good rooms. Yes, 500 gems for an Imperial is 100% of the time always worth it. I'd buy that infinitely if I could. At least in the current state of the game anyways. But yes, 500 gems for an Imperial is 100% of the time always worth it. Actually, did I get anything good for offers? I believe I checked earlier and they were all horrible. Yep. That is the case. That is the case. I'm not sure if I still want to keep getting that common one. If I ever see it on like 10% or 20%, it's a little bit more enticing, even though it's only a 10 gem difference. But most of the metal ones don't really seem that worth it. The legendary one I have been giving into lately, though. But it's a lot to upgrade a single troop. To do a single legend, you would have to buy the legendary thing 27 times at 500 each. So that's like what? almost 8,000, something around there, a little higher, just to get a single legend upgraded. However, having a single legend upgrade is actually pretty substantial, though, in some teams. I'm pretty sure this thing could hit 6 higher magic. Yeah, it could. This thing could be hitting for 6 higher. This definitely wouldn't be one of the things you would upgrade, though. Queen of Tanya probably not Queen of Tanya. Yeah, Queen of Tanya is probably the next one I'd want to go for. I could even do it now if I really wanted to. I have the resources for it. I believe we have enough to upgrade 1 legend. To have 3 spirit to still do the mythic if we want. Because I need 3 spears so we could do the first level of a mythic at some point. Which we're getting pretty close to. I think I need 5 more initials. It's right around the corner. It was either 5 or 6. We got 2 at once, so I actually forgot where that put us. Because I had to put off my tracker a little bit. Because normally I track them 1 at a time, but occasionally we get 2 at a time. Generally, if you're trying to quickly go through chests, you should never go beyond green. Green is the absolute furthest you should do if you're quick killing treasure hunt. Because that maximizes your chance that you get gems. You specifically want to get as many of them green without going beyond green. Will maximize your chance of getting gems, as well as just overall loot. But yeah, go for green chests, but don't go beyond green chests, but try to get as many green chests as you can. Each green chest is a 25% chance for a gem. So if you have about 5 or 6 green chests, you're pretty much always getting a gem each time, if not more. We did 1 vault this Monday. We almost got like a vault and a half, but I wasn't really setting up to do vault. I was just trying to do 60 turn. The first time we ever tried going for double vault, we actually got it first try. But trying to do it since has been kind of hit or miss. Like, you specifically have to go into the map with the mindset of trying to get it. Because if you're going in the mindset of just trying to get 60 turns, the way you play is a lot different than if you're trying to go for double vault. Because it's really important if you're going for double vault where on earth the greens and reds end up falling to. Whereas in something like 60 turns, it doesn't matter at all. And generally, most of our maps since then have pretty much just been 60 turns one that are rushed down just for a few gems. So many positive stats effects. They can also do negative to the enemy, but we keep getting the positive ones. It'd be nice if it fairy fired all enemies, which it can do. I would have to get very lucky. You'll probably only see it like once every 20, 30 battles. Wait, we have an extra turn. Grab that. Yeah, the problem with red chests and vaults in general, as well as just the entirety of treasure hunt, is as you keep upgrading to bigger material, the amount of loot that you get for that material is technically less. Like 3 green chests is more loot than 1 red chest. 3 red chests is more loot than 1 vault. Kind of weird how it is, but it is how it is. And because green chests are the first chests that have a gem, it's worth stepping at. Because red chests only give you 2 gems, whereas green chests give you 1. But you have 3 of them. How many event medals do I have? I bought up to tier 4, so I believe we have 2 full ones. I generally go buy up to tier 3, or if there's a weapon, I buy to tier 4. That's as far as we go for it. So we currently have two 160%, and I'm just running 4 magic for the other thing. Since we already have half mana start off of King Salinas. Does BladeDancer have enough damage to one-shot at this range? I know its first cast is very strong. I'm not sure if it's still one-shot. Our AoE is pretty much still also one-shotting, so it's perfectly fine for now. So if we get to the point where we do need to switch, we might end up switching to BladeDancer. Oh no, he survived with 1 HP. Yeah, we'll go check how much BladeDancer does. We could just replace the first one with BladeDancer. We wouldn't even need to get rid of both. Let's go check how broken his boost ratio is. I know he has armor boost ratio. He used to actually be really, really meta. But he kind of becomes meta again, and I kind of keep forgetting whenever you give him magic bonus. Similar to, what's her name? Similar to Tesla, when she ends up getting the same. He already has natural half mana start, though it doesn't make a difference. We're going to keep it anyways. Hello, Rakando. Welcome. Let's see if he has enough to one-shot. Yep, it is still one-shot. Nice. That's even more broken. Like, we weren't already doing enough damage. And now we'll have her for cleanup in case he somehow doesn't one-shot. Yeah, but that's why we're keeping the Luna there. Yep, that is indeed quicker. Gosh, this event is broken. There's quite a few of them like this. I'm not sure what they have against balance, though. It's like they either make the event like auto-win or absurdly, ridiculously hard. And this is one of the auto-win ones. Look how high the people on leaderboard went. Also, wow, they're fighting really hard. I wonder if he gave up at this point. It's hard to tell. But yeah, he went all out. What's kind of interesting is the battles won are almost the same. But this guy has so many more points. I guess he did it at a really specific order. Because you do get more for doing the same battle over and over again. So I guess he was really focused on specifically what battle he was doing to get more points from. It shouldn't have made too huge a difference, though. RNG can also affect it a bit. That seems like a really large difference for only like a 100 battle difference. Because they're almost like a million apart from each other. You only have a 100 part difference. Like, that's a pretty big gap. Oh, what am I doing? Back to there. Oops, that was just still on the right screen. Failed. Quillen. Oh yeah, this is much better than the other one, that's for sure. Much better to one-shot them than spend forever in a single battle. Like last week. I just passed my turn, but the enchant would have been 1 mana short. I was thinking that, which is why I hesitated. But nope, we didn't have the mana for it. Sometimes we will, depending on when it explodes. Or how it explodes. Or it might just be beneficial just to pass our turn rather than trying to do anything. If he falls at 9 or 10 mana, you might as well just do nothing. And just wait for the next turn. Like right now, it doesn't even matter what we take, and then he's dead. Of course, we did take his mana there. But we could have taken literally anything at that point. Oh no, it lived. Spell reduction. But yeah, looks like it gets caught up at spell reduction on the higher ones. Still really good damage though. You'd only want to cast him once though. Anything beyond that's kind of clunky. His first cast is very strong. Yeah, buying to tier 4 in the World Lore event at stage 11 gives you a second full medal, if I'm not mistaken. Which is pretty beneficial for trying to get through the harder spots. I normally just buy to tier 3 though. Unless there's specifically a weapon on 4. In which case we do go for 4. Okay, the spell reduction one seems to always lift now. If we ever fight it. I mean, this is our last sigil unless we get, Valraven. Nope, no Valraven. Probably go clear out Dailies real quick then. And then we'll switch over to, the World Lore, or not the World Lore, then the, Larasa's Lair. However you say her name. I always say her name incorrectly. Lyrasza? Something along there. Let's bring out our Phoenicia. And I'll go do the entirety of the faction. And by the entirety of the faction, I just mean the rewards. We're obviously not going for pure faction. Luckily, we've already done it, so we shall never do it again. If anyone still wants to try for it, there is 6 hours left. Unless you already started, I wouldn't bother getting into it now if you're trying to do pure faction. It is theoretically possible to do pure faction from now until the end. Like starting it now and still getting it done in time. I would not advise trying to do it though. You'll be up like all night. It's technically possible though, not advised if it's not already started. But the free rewards you can do pretty much whenever. It takes like, what, half an hour? I feel like they've been going pretty quick lately. The higher stats go in the game, just the quicker it goes. Plus the higher you get Delves upgraded as well, of course. And even just later into a campaign event, it can even be easier just because of the extra stats that you have. Increasing by the weeks. Until it gets reset, in which it goes all the way back down. I believe I have quite a bit of armor this time too, so Rowan actually gets quite a bit of a buff as well. I'm pretty sure I can consistently do Explore 4 Rowan. Hello, Imperial! Welcome. The adventure board, not as good as it has been this past week or two, but it is still 35 gems on it. Definitely worth taking. Yeah, Phoenicia can one-shot pretty far. It depends what her magic's at. I believe with my stats right now, she would one-shot up to 60 or 70 of Larasas Lair. If I was to run Phoenicia team for it. Let's see, what's your restriction again? Isn't it blue-purple? Oh no, it might be yellow-purple actually. I should completely forget. I knew what it was on Monday because I made it for the teams, but I should forget what it is off the top of my head right now. It is... Oh, it is yellow-purple. Okay. I'm pretty sure I was just going to run finesse team and just finesse spam them. Where were we? Dungeons. Clear that real quick. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to half starter. Which is why I was likely just going to go to finesse into finesse. It's not a full AoE, but it's pretty much going to win as soon as it starts. You take one yellow, cast dead. It's kind of like the Gargoyle team, except with less steps. And given how heavy the yellow is for this faction, it'll probably almost go all the way too. I believe the final battle is like 3 yellow or something. First battle's I believe 4 yellow. I'm looking for finesse. That's not it. That's also not it. There it is. Okay, let's get into it. Games, faction, fight. I think I already bought the thing earlier. Yep, just making sure. Always like to do it preemptively in case I forgot. Oh yeah, last time around we ran, interesting. I'll keep this for the earlier battles. Actually, we could first run this all the way. If we have enough damage for it. Hold up, let's run this. I was even mentioning we have higher armor. I might as well utilize it. Almost forgot about this team. Sir Quentin Hadley. That's not where I wanted to go. So how much extra armor do we have right now? Didn't we get an extra 5 this week? Or was that last week? Oh no, we still haven't gotten it yet. That was the other 5 I was thinking of. Oh, we only got attack this week. Well, technically we got magic this week. But also the attack from the expanded one. It's still a little while till we get armor. I thought armor went to 15 this time. Never mind, it was HP. Oh, we don't get too high of armor this time around. The highest we could ever see is 20 armor, 6 magic. Or 20 armor, 4 magic. It's like the highest we could ever see for a Rowan benefit. Man, anyways, let's just run this. I'll stick with this, might as well. It's actually pretty good. You do Mountain Crusher / Harpy Mage, cast Guard's Avatar, win. Has half mana start. Take literally anything and you have Harpy. And then you won. Oh yeah, I should actually move Harpy down a slot. Harpy should actually be behind the Guard's Avatar because you automatically have Harpy mana anyways. Otherwise her explosion blocks. So I should actually need to move that. I can't move it now though, obviously. But that's actually an incorrect order. Harpy Mage should actually be behind the Guard's Avatar. So that all the mana goes straight into him. This is still fine kind of the other way around. Why not Leprechaun? Because of Brownstorm. We could probably go Leprechaun though. On most boards it won't matter. Only if we have to cast again will it matter. Hello Meredith, welcome. What is this game? It's a match 3 RPG. Free to play on every platform. Very grindy. A lot of fun if you like grind games. Yeah, I was planning on streaming Breath of the Wild sometime early this year. I wanted to do it before Breath of the Wild 2 came out. Still haven't gotten around to it yet, but we shall be. I might just actually replace that out for Leprechaun. We got free gold out of it. Like, I'm not sure we're really going to need the Brown Storm often, not. Because it's pretty much already at full mana anyways. If we really had to, Mountain Crusher should be able to cover the rest. You can also alternatively use our Skia Shield instead of Mountain Crusher. But then you don't have Brown Storm at all. Which I believe was the main reason why we initially used Harpy. Because for later battles with this team, you Harpy would be your only Brown Storm. And Mountain Crusher would be Skia Shield. I'll finish Breath of the Wild in a week, probably. We're likely going to do it on Master Mode. And do it kind of like how we did Age of Calamity on highest difficulty. We're only doing any percent when we do Breath of the Wild, though. There's no way I'm 100%ing that game. We're getting pretty close to 100%ing Slay Spire, though. The only main thing we haven't really done is do Ascension 20. And we got up to Ascension 12 with one of the characters today. Okay, let me switch this out to Leprechaun. Good old Leprechaun. If in doubt, put Leprechaun on literally every team in existence. I know. Why are you no full mana? What, do I need to go change hero weapon out for literally anything that doesn't use brown? Just so you'll get full mana? I might have to, actually. Because you're allowed to use any color hero weapon. We could literally just use like a blue hero weapon or something. Yeah, Age of Calamity, I was really expecting them to drop DLC pretty early. And they still haven't yet. I was actually kind of surprised by that. Especially how some of the marketing material was. Because it kind of alluded to, like, there will be DLC for sure for this game in the future. And they were pretty upfront with that. But there's still none. There's definitely a lack of endgame content in the game. Like, the game takes like 100 hours to 100%. And beyond that, there isn't much to do. Like, other than, like, making min-max weapons. Which is exceedingly tedious in the current state of the game. Which I have done for, like, almost every character, almost. So it takes, like, an extra 100 hours. That's really grindy. Actually, almost, like, 200 hours. I mean, I had, like, 300 hours, and I still don't have it done for every character yet. But not all that time was spent doing that. Oh, so that one other game's doing their beta this weekend, but I didn't get access to it. Unless I can find someone who doesn't need their account that has beta access to Century Age of Ashes. We won't be able to stream it. I should have just gotten like 10 Steam accounts and all assigned it to it. I meant to with a couple of my alternate Steam accounts, but didn't bother. I probably should now in case we somehow don't get into second beta as well. I think they were mostly just doing a server test anyways, though. But the game would still be playable. They said that it's completely random as to who gets it. And they have no control over specifically who can get it. I already asked. But no, they said it was completely random who it went out to. And that they can't manually set it. I have asked. Yeah, pretty much no game seems grindy now compared to Gems of War. Which is kind of funny. I do enjoy grind-based games, though. Because in, like, any game, I'm always, like, resource-oriented. And grind games are normally pretty heavy on resources. I have, like, infinite of every resource accumulated in Animal Crossing now. It's kind of funny because the bell economy is actually starting to go up in Animal Crossing. So now doing the flower thingies are actually like so profitable. They released the update thingy today too, or the trailer for it. It's a pretty small update. And for people that don't time travel, the main event's not even until the 15th. And Fall Guys is doing their update soon too. They keep teasing it, but they still have yet to give an official date. I'm hoping it's tomorrow. But I feel like they would have said it was tomorrow if it's going to be tomorrow. If anyone else knows any other questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. Oh, is there a way for free players to get enough warbands to buy the team yet? Yes and no. Yes, it is possible, but no in the sense that it's completely luck-based. Free-to-play players can get warbands via 35. That can happen on offers. It's 100 gems for 35. However, it is completely random when this happens. And it is definitely very much possible that you've seen 0 of them. I've only seen 1 of them so far on that side. 2 of them are on the VIP side. But it is definitely possible, 100% free to play, to get every single warband thing. It would just take longer. But it eventually would be completable. And for new players, it's actually ridiculously easy because they get them from Kingdoms. But it is possible as a veteran player to still get it done free to play. It'll probably just take like half a year in the current state of the game. It's rather slow. Because I know since it released like, what, about a month ago or so? I've seen it once. Like literally an entire total of once, as far as the free one. I've seen the paid one twice. The one that only shows up on VIP 6. Because the VIP 6 one, I believe, is 65 for 200 gems. Whereas the free one is 100 gems for 35. The one that doesn't require VIP 6. You can also get it through Arena if you did Arena every single day. However, most people don't bother doing Arena every single day for it. However, that would increase double your chance of getting it. Actually, more than double your chance of getting it each day. Because normally you'd have 2 rolls for it, but if you do Arena, you'd have 5 rolls. You know, 3 additional rolls. So that would drastically speed it up if you really wanted to try finding all the warbands. Chance of getting that task specifically is very low, though. We have no clue what the exact percent is, but it's definitely probably just a few percent, if even that. What would it be if I could create a troop of any kind? I'm not even sure these days. I've been asked that question like so many times in the past. But in the current state of the game, I'm not even sure. I kind of want an option that has more silence. Like, I feel like nothing with silence in this game is particularly good anymore. With a few exceptions like Grey King. Like, I don't like how most of the silence options play in this game. Silence used to be very meta. But it kind of fallen off. Just because most of the troops that use it aren't that good anymore. With a few exceptions. Yeah, enchant's always a good thing to have more of. Having alternatives to Mistralis would be nice. I feel like almost every enchant team runs Mistralis these days. Just because it's 4 times enchant for free. Which is just absurdly good value. There are a few silence options that aren't horrible. That are a bit lower rarity. Satire Magician and oh gosh, what's that one red-blue troop that double silences? I actually forgot his name now. Because I haven't used him for ages. But he's not bad. Even in Arena, he's actually really good. Why can I not remember his name? I still have the filter stage from earlier, really? What's his name? Merlion. Merlion's pretty good too. It's double silence and it does double damage to what it silenced. Or, you know, if it's already silenced. So if you silence them and then, you know, refresh the silence, it does extra damage to them. It's a pretty good option. No, I would never want to see a final trait that silences all enemies on the extra turn. That would be a little bit too broken. Like, there are counters to silence. But 4 times silence would be so annoying to deal with if you did not actually have, if you didn't actually have, like, a counter anywhere in your team. Like, if you could just extra turn for it, that would just be way too powerful. Well, I guess Cedric could still cleanse it, though. Or I keep calling it Cedric, the Orpheus medal, I mean. I'd also love to see a proper Reflect tank in this game. Puzzle Quest 1 did it insanely good. Puzzle Quest 2 partially did it. But only like one of the classes, the Paladin, I think really did it properly. And even that wasn't as good as Puzzle Quest 1. But, yeah, they don't have any proper Reflect tank in Gems of War. Like, the closest thing we have to it is, Gloomleaf. That red-green from, Forest of Thorns. Everything else is kind of meh. And even that's pretty horrible at doing it. If nothing else, hopefully Puzzle Quest 3 will do it properly. I don't think we've gotten any more word on Puzzle Quest 3 yet. I'm curious to see if Salty will stream tomorrow night. Do we have confirmation yet if she is? She has done 0 streams since they have announced Puzzle Quest 3. Yeah, it would make sense she would mention Puzzle Quest 3 on a Puzzle Quest stream if she's doing it tomorrow. That'd be very weird if she didn't mention it. We know basically like no info about it currently. Or very, very little. And I want to know. Because I'm hoping it's a really grindy version of Puzzle Quest 1 mixed with Gems of War. Like, that's what I want it to be. If it will be, that is questionable. Like, Gems of War is a multiplayer game, but with, like, proper RPG grind and everything. With actual upgrading of equipment and all that good stuff. Still curious to see if it's kind of going to be a bit of a live service game. With like a solo campaign, but then like a side live service thing on top. It seems like the model they are likely to go with for it. But it is still not known for sure if it will be. Also, I just realized this has been one-shotting this entire time. And it just now didn't one-shot. Would be a good time to go for that Urskea shield. Tempting. If I need the mana. Actually, you know what? What's that one blue shield? What's the name of that one blue shield? I think it was blue, wasn't it? What color was it? That new shield we got. Wait, was it red? Oh, don't tell me it was red. What color was it? Brown? Yellow? Let me go under shields. I know it's a shield. Where is it? That one new shield that we got. The most recent one. Ah, purple. Perfect. Oh, we have minus purple currently, though. Does that even matter? It starts with half mana. Because this is still an armor gain for a guard, plus it still feeds mana. And it doesn't block anything, which is the main reason why. It blocks absolutely nothing. Well, I guess it technically blocks Leprechaun, but it doesn't matter. He starts with Empower. Yeah, I'm curious how those block creating troops will fend. Because being able to create blocks can actually be potentially very broken. Because gems don't spawn where blocks are. So if you're using a heavy gem spawn team, you could create a bunch of blocks. And then it makes it even easier for you to infinite loop. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to pan out. But it is likely to be very broken. Particularly with troops that have a small amount of gem spawn. Because you're essentially making the board smaller, which makes it a higher chance that you'll land extra turn, which is exceedingly beneficial for single mana accumulators, or, you know, things that spawn at one single color. It's not as good for two because they can kind of interloop with each other. The ones that spawn only one color, it's going to be very broken mechanic. So we'll have to see exactly how it pans out. Last I heard, the +2/+2 banner was intended? I believe it's intended. In that it's intended for now until they fix it. I believe that's the final verdict on it. Is that it's intended until they fix it. We'll find out if it's not fixed by next patch, that's for sure. Next patch should be pretty soon. I'm actually surprised we haven't gotten any info on it yet. It's very common that we get a January patch. I guess they didn't this year. Which hopefully means next patch is a little bit bigger. Oh, we should definitely get one next month. Probably early next month. But still no words on it. It is a small patch? Aw. Well, normally the first patch of the year is a small patch. I just figured since it's a little bit later in the year, they might make it bigger. But nope. Because the first patch of every year is always a small one, normally. But it seems like it's delayed a lot more than normal. Yeah, there was a chance that it could happen today, but it didn't. I don't think it did. I'll double check the forum. I haven't heard any murmurs of it, though. So it's probably next week's Tuesday, or the following week's Tuesday. Because normally they do a patch in January. So it's going to be very soon. But yep, it's definitely not today. It is definitely not today. Oh, there's no green on the board. I was like, wait, why did I do nothing? It's like, oh yeah, lack of green. One last set. Mobarashi, I know, right? Yeah, I'm curious exactly how that will pan out. I'm not even sure if they're making her the community manager for both. I feel like they would. But that's going to be a completely different type of game. As far as the type of player base it'll attract. Like, initially, a lot of people from Gems of War will try it, of course. But, it's going to play a bit differently. If it's more multiplayer based. That also means things have to be balanced more, unlike Gems of War. I think they kind of just given up on trying to balance Gems of War at this point. And they just keep power creeping and just hoping things fix themselves with the meta. Because things that have been absolutely broken in the past, that they didn't bother changing at all, have actually become, like, useless over time, some of them. Despite them being, like, overpowered. Exactly as is. Because new better stuff eventually comes into the game. Not always though, some things have just always remained good. Like Rowan has never stopped being bad. She's gotten increasingly better over time, but she's never stopped being bad. Is there an ability to create a guild in Puzzle Quest 3? We have no clue. We know very little about it. I assume so. Given the kind of game that it is likely to be. However, no word on that. Though if she streams tomorrow, we can ask. I highly doubt she'll mention much about it, though. But if there's any time to ask her a question about Puzzle Quest, it's there in a Puzzle Quest stream. Does anyone know if she's actually streaming tomorrow? Or is she still off because of Australia Day? I'm pretty sure Australia Day already happened, even though they're handing out the pet specifically on Wednesday. Let's see. Well, you keep going for the leaderboards. You're doing much more work than you need to. You keep making, like, first place, or not first place, or, but, you know, first place within the guild, like, every leaderboard for every event. Is there any reason not to turn all of your shards into diamonds? In the current state of the game, there isn't. However, the reason I currently hoard my shards is what if that changes? But in the current state of the game, yes, all your shards should always be converted to diamonds if you're looking to do something with your diamonds right now. The only reason I hoard them is there's a small chance shards are eventually used for something else. And while that obviously isn't currently the case, it's not an impossibility that it eventually would. That's the only reason I hoard mine specifically. Because I have more diamonds than I ever know what to do with, so I personally just hold my shards just in case they could be used for something else eventually. But as it currently stands, yes, shards should always be made into diamonds. Because making them into jewels is bad value. There we go. Nice. We got it. And that's the event. And here's our double blue orb. Oh, as we got purple. The blues are still much better. Ah, there we go. Okay, let's go run a chest or two. Oh, I don't have any team set up for it. Oh, we can go set one up. There we go. Okay, let's go to Golvania. Give me a couple chests. I want to get at least 2. Where's my farming team? I'll probably go for 2. Gotta get those niches and Imperials. And pretty much any metal. The more the merrier. Ten orbs without a blue or purple? That's awful. That is some very unlucky luck, or lack thereof. Yeah, I almost have my 3rd set of power orbs ready. I need 26 more blues, I believe it was. It was either 24 or 26, I keep forgetting. It's one or the other, I think it was 26. And once I get that amount of blue orbs, we have enough to craft 2 boss troops. Because I skipped over Enraged Carandera. And I'm probably just going to permanently skip over Enraged Carandera. Because there's a good chance literally every other Doom troop that will ever exist will be better than him. Because Enraged Carandera is barely even better than normal Carandera. So he set a pretty low bar for what a boss troop can be. It's still probably good for a couple things. Like, its AoE damage is absurdly good if you get the right board for it. And there's some setups that you can do to kind of force a good board for it. But, Rob the Knight seems kind of average. Of course, we've never actually specifically used him before, but on paper, he seems rather average. He requires a lot of setup. Yeah, definitely Zugov first. 100%. Even once a 3rd boss troop comes into the game, Zugov's probably still the one to craft first. They made Zugov really good. But mostly because they gave him a really good buff. Like, prior to the buff that he got where he could infinitely cast his ability, he wasn't as good. But once they did that buff, he became pretty substantial. Because it allowed him to solo entire teams by just spamming his ability. Whereas before, you could only cast it once and that's it. Which in this kind of situation would make him very useless, because now you can't cast Zugov anymore if it was like how it was before. But now you can cast him as many times as you want, as long as you get the mana for him. And ever since then, he's been usable. But prior to that, he was actually pretty bad. Like, pretty much no one touched him prior to that, which is the main reason why they buffed him in the first place. Like, pretty much no one used him prior. Thank you, Defiant. Hey, I got an Arania, nice. It's not the main 2 we're looking for, but it's still loot. Let's go for one more chest. I'll probably call it a night for now. And then tomorrow night we get a new pet. And then we also get to bother Salty with questions about Puzzle Quest 3 that she will ignore. I'll take that for now. Please give purple. There we go. Stop trying to kill our win conditions. There will probably not be Guild Wars in Puzzle Quest 3, or even an equivalency of that. I'm curious what minigames they end up doing, though. Puzzle Quest 1 and 2 were really minigame heavy. And Gems of War, not so much. Like, the only real minigame we have is Treasure Hunt. And that's it. And Treasure Hunt's basically just a minigame from Puzzle Quest 2 expanded out a bit. I should have probably killed first slot in case he tried killing Gorgolfa. Looks like we won though. He can't stop both of them. Killing that first just in case. I don't need to kill in my Zooguff. It's happened before. It'll happen again. And every single explorer has a boss troop too. Since every single kingdom has a boss slayer. So you gotta be careful with them. So hello DS, welcome. Yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Let me know. Probably be wrapping up soon. Have you tried this team with a second leprechaun instead of Thrall? It's not as consistent. Thrall's the main thing in this team to try to make it more consistent. Otherwise, you would normally use Skyla there instead. And have it behind the Zooguff, of course, not in front. And the reason for her is Skull Storm. Because it makes your Skull Loop more consistent. But the problem with it is it also makes it more dangerous. Like, it makes its max speed quicker, but it makes its consistency lower. And what do we get from our final chest? Oh, another Rainia. Well, we hit Rainias pretty well today, if nothing else. So that's not too bad. No Anners, no Nishas, but still not horrible. Oh, we got 19 gems too. Nice. Does that bring us up to 25,697? Should we go waste some today? We can get a blue orb today. This is horrible value, though. Unless I just desperately needed, like, 3 or less blues. I would never go for this. Unless, like, a boss troop just came out today. And it was like, oh, I'm 1 blue short. 700 gems. I guess I'll go for it. But otherwise, no. That is a lot of gems. If it was 500, I would probably do it. 500, I think, is the most I would pay for 100% blue orb. But 700 is a bit too high. Slightly too high. Like, imagine what we could do with that on a single leaderboard. If we threw 700 more gems at it. Like, that would already be an orb or two. On top of everything else. It's just not worth it. If it was a major blue, I would definitely go for 700. But yeah, that's how much blues go for in the thingy. Their actual value is like 400 or 500 gems. 700 is just a bit too high to go for. Even at 600, I would maybe consider it. Even that's a bit high, though. But 500 is probably the highest, where we consider it worth it. If you could directly transfer 500 gems into an orb, a blue orb. Even that's a bit high. I know, it's a guaranteed blue, though. But it's still not worth it. Unless we were just really desperate for the last few. But we already have enough to craft another boss troop when it comes out, so I'm not too worried about it. We'll get them in time. Anyways, guys, any other questions? Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up for tonight. Feel free to leave a like on the stream. It's helping out a lot and is greatly appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. Of course, we're getting a new pet tomorrow. Make sure to go get it. You can get it as early as 5 hours from now if you're up around then. And you have all day to go get it. So definitely make sure to do so. It's completely cosmetic. It's for Australia Day. But we got that pet. Actually, this begins the cycle of us getting a pet every Wednesday for the next several weeks. I believe for the next 4 weeks, we are getting a pet every Wednesday for a total of 5 pets because we're also getting a faction within that time. So within a month, we're getting 5 pets, 4 on 4 consecutive Wednesdays from this Wednesday until several Wednesdays from now. Because we have this pet, we have a Goblin bonus pet, if I'm not mistaken. We have a Valentine's Day pet, and we have the Ox for Lunar New Year's. I believe that's all of them. Maybe there's another one at the end. But yeah, we got all that coming up. So we got a lot of pets to look forward to. And one of them actually has a good bonus, where the rest are pretty much just cosmetic. Man, anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you all enjoy your week. And I'll see you later. Goodbye, everyone. And thank you for watching.